We turn to questions for oral answer. And question 1 is in the hands of the Honourable Member for Douglas Central, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I beg leave to ask the Minister for the Treasury what plans he has to review the basis for the rating of quarries and mines and the royalties system.
For the Minister for Treasury to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and can I start by thanking the Honourable Member for Douglas Central for his well-timed question. The Treasury is currently considering the rating of quarries as provided for in the Rating and Valuation Act 1953. The review is being carried out within the Department to ensure that the system as laid out within the Act remains equitable and fit for purpose. I expect the review to be concluded by the end of the month, and Treasury will consider what action, if any, is appropriate after this date. At this time, there are no plans to review the royalties system, as both the Department of Environment, Food and Agriculture and the Treasury are comfortable that the taxpayer is receiving a competitive rate for its natural resources. I am aware that there is some concern that royalties are used as a basis for determining the rateable value of the quarries, and it is this matter that is currently being reviewed, not the royalty regime itself. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Question, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I welcome that announcement. Quarries are obviously just one anomaly in the island's rating system, in that rateable values are reviewed annually based on mineral royalty payments. The rateable values fluctuate. The Rent and Rating Appeal Commissioners referred this matter at a tribunal, case number 1813, to government back in 2018, as it was to do with rating legislation and policy. Specifically, and I quote, reform of the legislation would be a positive step, could produce a more equitable method of calculation of rates and provide more certainty for the industry. Does the Minister agree with me that this was just one of the 19 components of rates reform, and so therefore it's disappointing that we're not going to take forward rates reform in this administration?
Minister, thank you, Mr Speaker. I think that's widened the question out a bit from quarries. It'd be very easy to dig yourself a hole on this question. But sticking very much to the quarries aspect, I do agree with the Honourable Member. I mean, the October 2019 Rates Modernisation Report identified quarries as something of an anomaly within the rating system, as unlike other properties, they are revalued annually based upon the royalties paid to DEFA. So we do recognise there is that anomaly there, and that's one of the reasons that we're looking to have the review.
Question, Mr Thomas.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Of course, there are winners and losers in rates reform. So the poor people of Bride, all 360 of them or abouts, only have to pay £10,000 a year in rates each year at the moment, with the non-domestic ratepayers, principally the quarry, paying £81,000 a year. Whereas the poor people in Andreas, they have to pay £163,000 a year, with only £8,000 a year paid by non-domestic ratepayers. Does the Minister agree with me that it would be better to go into the whole basis of rates reform rather than picking and choosing what suits people in one particular parish?
Minister to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I see the Honourable Member's indicating for a question before he's even heard the answer. But in relation to this, I mean, my personal views on rate reform, the Honourable Member well knows. We served together on Douglas Council, and they've been on record for over a decade now. But again, the question is on quarries, and in relation to the quarries, as I have said, we recognise that there is an inequality in part of the system, and that's why we're undertaking this review.
On the basis if you don't strike all after 3 attempts, stop boring. This is final supplementary, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. So does the Minister agree with me then that it would be unfair to continue to address just one anomaly, or to address just one anomaly in the rate system rather than all the others? Because although it's fair to Andreas, it's even more unfair to the people of Douglas, Onken and Ramsey. So for instance, and even Port St Mary. So in Port St Mary, 400,000 in domestic rates, 40,000 in non-domestic rates. Michael even, 215,000 in domestic rates, 12,000 in non-domestic rates. Does the Minister agree with me that this is an example about we finally need to get rid of all the 1953 and 1969 anomalies in the rate system?
I'm not sure we still have a functioning quarry or mine in Port St Mary, so with that in mind, Minister to reply.
And unless there's been a serious land slippage, I'm not sure we have that many in Douglas, Mr Speaker, either. But what I would say in conclusion is it's something the Honourable member is very passionate about. And from a personal point of view, one of the things I have always said very publicly, I believe, would help fix the rating system is local authority reform, Mr Speaker. I moved a motion to that effect in 2017 and I didn't get the support in Tynwald.